All right.
I don't know.
Let me give you some quick trivia then. Can you name four players off of Indy's bench?
Off of Indy's bench. All right, you got George Hill, the OG who came back.
George Hill.
Yeah, he's back in Indy.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Do a Google search right now.
Ryan,
He's
I'll
back
I'll
in.
bet $5 million that he's not in Indy.
He's back with the Pacers. So it's been a while.
It has. It has.
What was the last episode? Like 2021?
I think like yeah, like 2020, dude. I think high school, bro. Like
Oh,
seems like forever
I
ago.
think it's like not a high school. I think it's like first year of post secondary or something like that.
Man, whatever, dude. All that matters is that we're back, right?
We're back, bro. We're back. We're ready to revamp.
We got a quick hiatus, maternity
Quick
leave.
in maternity. We had our 2 year maternity leave, but had that baby. Now we ready to start.
Exactly. So how are we gonna start off, Ryan? Let me know.
All right. So to everyone listening, that's Austin. That's my boy Austin from the elementary days, and I'm Ryan. You're listening to Court of Kings. If you guys didn't know already, we kind of switched up the name a bit because there's another podcast called Floor Generals, but we're still OG ones. We're still OG
So,
FGs.
of course.
All right. So like back then, I started off this way, and I think it'd be a nice way to just try it again. So Austin, it's been a few years since I last asked you, but who's your favorite player?
Man, after 3 years, you're asking me this question off the bat.
Yes, sir. I'm asking you right off the bat.
You know, something's changed, Ryan. Something's changed. People change, feelings change, but
Mm.
you know one thing can't change, and that's that Ben Simmons is my favorite player.
Ooh.
It'll never go away. I don't care if he's retired. I don't care if he dies. He's still gonna be my favorite player. I'm gonna still root for him.
All right, all right. I mean, like he might be out of the league in like 2 years,
No,
but
he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not.
where's he gonna go? China?
Nope, just his back. He's just his back, dude. He's got to go to the hospital real quick, you know. But I believe in him. I mean, everyone's shitting on him. This is the best time to be a Ben Simmons fan. I might be
I'll give
one
you.
of five. I might be one of five Ben Simmons fans. All right, but come on.
I'll give you credit. I'll give you credit because like there's always ups and downs for players. The physical side, the mental side. Like that mental block. I'll give you credit, but like from his performance, I'm not that big of a fan. Like
You're just a hater, you know. I'm plain and simple.
maybe I am, man. Maybe I am. We still got Alex, who's like who hates on you on this too, but I guess
It's
it is
totally
what
fine.
it is.
It's totally fine.
All right, and new favorite team, or are you sticking with the aside from the Raptors? Because we're from Toronto, but aside from the Raptors, who's your favorite
Uh,
team?
Honestly, I think there is my favorite team. I think there's no one to root for at this point. It's like a mixed bag at this point. There's not a lot of teams that are really piquing my interest. So I think I'm just a neutral
Okay,
fan for now. You know.
okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. So yeah, that's Did you want to hear mine, or or are we
No,
cool?
I didn't. I didn't.
You didn't? All
No,
right,
I'm
all right.
joking. I'm
Well,
joking. I
no,
mean,
all right,
who's
okay.
who's your favorite team player? I mean, after 3 years, like, I mean, you never know. I think
Bound to change, right?
Danny Green's actually out of the league. So, like, you're talking
Bro.
Ben
I
Simmons,
don't.
like, Danny Green's actually out of the league. So I don't know who
I,
your favorite
I
player
don't
is
know,
at this
man.
point.
Danny Green's still hitting like that occasional three every 5 games. So
I
with
mean,
Cleveland, so
he can't get minutes on a roster with no guards. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
but he's still no G.
He's still no G.
He's still the guy. He's still the guy.
Still the guy, of course, of
Um,
course.
honestly though, like I still love DeMar DeRozan and everything, but I don't know. I think this might be a difficult to hear as a man from Toronto. I like Jalen Brown.
No, no.
Jalen Brown's
Why,
kind of my
why,
guy.
why is that controversial to being from Toronto?
I don't know. Boston people and Toronto people don't really mesh well that much.
I think they're the same
And
people. You know.
you think so?
Yeah, definitely, bro.
Alright, because everyone I talk to likes Jason Tatum more than Brown.
Hey, you know what? Do you think Jam Brown's better than Jason Tatum?
I think some games, yes. I think in some games, yes.
I think they're pretty much equal. I think it's like 1A 1B kind of thing.
1A, 1B. Who's the 1A? Who's the 1B?
Okay, Tatum is definitely 1A because I mean he's the alpha dog. I'll be honest, he's the alpha dog on the
Okay,
team.
all
But
right.
Jalen Brown, whenever Tatum plays poorly, like you'll never see Jalen Brown play poorly at the same time. Like Jalen Brown's
That's what
always
I'm
on his
saying.
game.
Jalen Brown is consistent. He will get you that 25 points every single night.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, that's I like consistency, man. That's my thing. I like
And
consistency.
people shitting on his handles. What are you guys talking about? People say he has no
Bro,
handles. Dude,
he
his
has
handles.
better handles than me, so like
I mean, that's not that difficult, but like his handles
oh
are
fair.
tight as fuck, dude. His handles are very, very tight.
Bro, my thing is his beard. Like have you seen his progression of his facial hair from
I mean,
rookie
he
year?
blew Tatum out the water. I'll be honest. He really
Yes.
did.
Bro, Tatum's look patchy as hell. Like,
Tatum had them chops for about 2 years. Like he
oh
was
god.
struggling, but Jalen Brown just pulled up. He was baby face. All of a sudden, he's got like the biggest beard I've ever seen. Like
Bro, he's
it's rivaling Harden, bro. Honestly.
bro rivaling Harden. He's already better than Perkins. You know, back when he was in the league. Like, I don't,
Oh, he was in the league. Damn, I couldn't even tell.
Hendrick Perkins, like his, you know, like the beard he has now. 100%, I would take Browns over his.
I mean, that's any day. Come on.
Fair, fair, fair. All right, but yeah, favorite player Jalen Brown. I would say that.
Favorite team? Come on. Like you have
Favorite
to.
team? This one. I remember saying I loved Indy.
Oh,
Honestly, I feel like they've got something special going down there with Tyrese, Buddy, Benedict, Miles Turner. You know,
all right,
I
Ryan.
don't know.
Let me give you some quick trivia then. Can you name four players off of Indy's bench?
Off of Indy's bench. All right, you got George Hill, the OG who came back.
George Hill.
Yeah, he's back in Indy.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Do a Google search right now.
Ryan,
He's
I'll
back
I'll
in.
bet $5 million that he's not in Indy.
He's back with the Pacers.
He in
Number 7.
Indianapolis.
He got traded back there.
You know what, Ryan? You are an Indy fan. You know what? You don't have to name anyone else.
All
I
right.
just got boomed on my own question. That's crazy.
George
But
Hill, my guy George Hill is back on Indiana. Love that for him.
top five light skin of all time in the league. Let's be
You
honest.
already know. You already
You
know.
already know.
Yeah, Dirk is number one though, but it is what it is.
Dirk is number one.
Dirk is number one. Number one light skin in the league. Well, he
Okay,
was in the league, but you know, ever to play.
fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. So, yeah, that's a real brief intro, I guess. I don't know what to say that, but
A
that's about
reconciliation.
us. That's yeah. So we got that Ben Simmons wave still, and I got that Jalen Brown.
Okay, sounds good. So, Ryan, I heard that you had a surprise for me. I mean, you were hyping it up. You said that we have a lot of topics to talk about. I mean, what is the surprise you got for me, Ryan? Because I'm about to go into this blind. I'll be honest.
Oh, you're going into the blind?
I think,
My
yeah,
bad, my
yeah.
bad, bro. Like,
I mean, hey, I mean, this is what we live for, right?
yes, sir. All right, so yeah, I got a few topics we can quickly discuss. You know, like I know it's been a while since we were on a like recording and everything, and I haven't talked to you in a while. So let me get your quick thoughts on some of these topics. Doesn't have to be too long. You
I'm
know, two,
shaking.
3 minutes is cool.
I'm shaking. What if I have no
Don't worry.
opinions? I'm joking.
I don't know. I don't know if we can continue this pod then, but you know, let's give it a shot. All right, real quick. It won't be rapid fire. Don't worry.
Okay.
LaMarcus Aldridge, he retired for the second time I think a week or two ago.
All right.
What are
All
your
right.
thoughts on that?
I mean, it's nice to see LaMarcus Aldridge actually, fully retiring this time. I feel like last time he retired, he kind of didn't get to do it on his terms. And, you know, with a guy like LaMarcus Aldridge, he's been in the league for so long and he's been dominant for a long, long time. Even through his last few years in San Antonio, we've seen him drop like big numbers and was, pushing that team into the playoffs. So I feel like it's nice to see LaMarcus Aldridge go on his terms, which is the most important thing. And I mean, there's nothing else to really say, like he's one of the best big men of our generation, especially through the 2010s. And I mean, what can I say? He's one of the greats.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I remember when he joined San Antonio. Uh, was it like 2015 or 16
Hmm.
with when Duncan was still around? Bro, that team looked stacked, like so, and they actually did pretty well. They did pretty well until like the whole Kawhi foot thing, right?
Right. You guys know
Honestly,
that.
it is what it is, but like at least he wasn't forced into retirement this time, and I'm happy for like. I just really wished we could have seen one more Dame and LaMarcus like reunion.
Yeah, even his last year in Brooklyn, or was it the year before? Like he actually was contributing pretty well. Like when he went over and started playing off the bench, like it was like 15, 20 minutes a game, but he was like playing really well. Like it seemed
Bro,
like
he played really well, especially if you picked him up during in fantasy during that time. Like he was actually really good.
yeah. So I mean, I can't say he fell off. Like he it didn't seem like he. I mean, he of course he got a bit worse. Like that's what happens when you get older.
No, it's
But
decline. It's just what it is.
it just didn't seem like he fell off like some other great players do. So I mean, I give props to
Mm.
LaMarcus Aldridge for fighting through that.
You know, that's fair, man. That's respect to the man. Respect to LA.
Of course.
All right. Quick topic. Nick Nurse. A few weeks ago, I think a week ago, he said he's gonna reflect on his coaching future with the Raptors. I know this is more of a more personal topic with us being Raptors fans, but broad landscape, what do you think of that?
Um, I really do feel like this year the coach and the front office have had a bit of a rift.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like there's a disconnect on, who Nick Nurse likes and who the front office likes. Especially, we can see it evident with this whole situation with Joe Wieskamp and Jeff Down, where
Yeah.
the front office it seems like they really do like um, Joe Wieskamp, and
Mm-hmm.
they're not too fond of Jeff Down. Where I feel like Nick Nurse actually does like Jeff Down, and the Raptors didn't end up keeping Jeff Down through the season,
Mm-hmm.
and I think just having that personnel, kind of battle, like Nurse likes this guy, front office likes this guy, and even with the Raptors playing the way they've been playing, like 40-40, like they're not looking like their best selves this year, and nothing can come good out of losing. So I mean, I think we saw this coming for a while. I feel like a lot of people started not to like Nick Nurse, especially with the rotations that we've been running, and I'm not surprised that there's a bit of disconnect, but to see Nick Nurse saying like things like this where he's not sure about his future. I mean, I don't I don't see I don't see Nick Nurse leaving after this season. Like I feel like we should give him maybe like a year or maybe in like a year and a half. But you never know. Like this front office does like to move drastically, and maybe we could see moves happen.
Definitely. Well, Nick Nurse was a what one of the few rookie head coaches to win a championship in his first year, right?
Yeah,
Like in 2019, yeah. And like I'll always respect him for that. He helped bring one home. Uh, Honestly though, like, and he's had a lot of good moments in his career, like the 2020 Coach of the Year, that comeback from Dallas, I think a few years ago. He had that like 50-point comeback against the Mavs or something like that. He had some good like He's had some really interesting concepts with rotations and team like the lineups that he's provided. But I don't know. I think he's just he's just saying this just to get a reaction out of the public.
you think so?
That's I think so because what he signed an extension like a year or two ago, and he feels he deserves more. Like sometimes they just say stuff like that, right?
I guess. I
Sometimes
guess.
sometimes personnel just say something like that. But honestly, like it's hard to it's hard to think of it's hard to imagine what he's going through because the team that was in a secure playoff spot last year is no long is in a playing tournament now with almost the same people, with almost the same team people, like players. And I think he just might be feeling a little unsure of was that the ceiling? Could he expand his horizons with another team or something like that? But just my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, he's been there for a long, long time. It's about like 10 years he's been there. Like he's kind of gone the ins and outs of that whole organization, and you know, I mean, it would really suck in my opinion for Nick Nurse to leave after all that he's been through with his team. Like one losing season kind of tears it apart, but
Yeah.
I really do feel like we should give like Nick Nurse this time to kind of reflect and like get his love for coaching. But I don't think he's lost his love for coaching, but I feel like he's kind of been burnt out through the whole year with like all the things that have been going on around the team, all the trade rumors with Siakam and Van Vliet. Like
Oh, for
it,
sure.
there's a lot of things going on around the team, and like a lot of even just issues internally with the players. Like I mean, there was that whole thing with Gary Trent Jr. and like people not being happy with the roles with OG. Like maybe they were
OG,
true, this and that, but
Scotty sometimes not playing the best.
like maybe they're just rumors, but I mean these things all add up like amongst the players. Like it really did seem like the Raptors kind of lost their mojo. Like the last few years, it seems like the Raptors have been this team that is so like tight knit. They're so like composed when it comes to like playing team basketball, and I just feel like they kind of lost their grip a bit this year. But I mean, I think they'll get it back. I mean, they're in the
Trust,
plane right
trust.
now. Maybe they'll have a good run in the playoffs, and you never know. Like maybe this is all just gonna be behind them after this year.
Well, good run in the playoffs might be a little bit of a stretch, but we'll visit that topic later.
Well, not run, but like you know what I'm saying. Just get
A
a
jog,
few close
you know.
games.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah,
play
for sure,
hard.
for sure. Yeah, definitely. Play hard, do your thing. Just a few more.
Yeah, why
You're
not?
cool with that? All right. Thunder 8-0 with KD. What are
Thunder.
your thoughts on that? Does that like change your thoughts on their playoff?
Well, of course, Kevin Durant's one of the best players in the league. How could it not? When you have Booker, CP3, KD, and Aiton on the same team, I mean, how
You
could you
forgot
not
Terrence
look?
Ross, bro. Forgot Terrence
I
Ross.
forgot Josh Okogie, bro. He's their best role player,
Oh,
man.
you're right.
No, but I mean, with a roster like that, with their star power that they have, I mean, how could you not look at the playoffs and feel like they're not going to make noise? I mean, they're one of the best teams in the league, and right now they're sitting at I think the 4th seed, and I mean, I feel like they have to make noise this playoffs. Like with that roster, Devin Booker has had his chances in the playoffs. He has proven time and time again that he is one of the best players in the league. CP3, he does turn it on in the playoffs, regardless of what all the people
Hmm.
are saying that he's a choker. And Aiden, I mean, I feel like we're talking about the playoffs at this point. Like I'm just running through what they are, but Aiden has really turned into one of the most underrated players in the league. I mean, when it comes to defending big men, he is one of the best. I mean, we've seen him in that run. I think it was 2021 when they made the
Yeah,
finals. He locked up AD, even though he was injured. He locked up Jokic. I mean, those are two of like the best big men in the league that he's just D'ing up back to back, and he's playing hard. He's not fouling. I mean, I feel like this team really is going to make noise in the playoffs.
fair enough, fair enough. I have like the same thoughts. I know people be saying, "Oh, 8-0, that's not enough of a sample size. It's too little games." But I think you insert Kevin Durant in any lineup, like put him on Orlando, and they'll probably be a playoff like top 6 seed. Like
Oof,
that's just what I think.
giving them LeBron treatment. Okay.
That honestly though, I feel like that's justified. I think he has what it takes to be one of like he's not he's definitely not a playoff choker by any means. He does step up like 2 Finals MVPs. Like that proves that you can do stuff in the playoffs, right?
Right. Of course.
So definitely, I think KD's 8-0. I think it's a sample of what's going to be displayed on TV in a few weeks.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Um, Kyrie and Dallas.
Oof.
Dallas has not been the best, especially since the Kyrie trade, and there have been rumors about him not wanting to resign in Dallas. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I feel like everyone in the whole world, like people in China, even knew the second that Kyrie got traded to Dallas, he was not going to resign. Like it was just been written in the leaves, and maybe we could have seen like a good run. Like this is really one of those one and done deals. Like you just get someone for the playoffs. But I mean, this is just tragic. I mean, I'm not sure what
Did it fall
happened.
through?
Yeah, I mean, the defense has really been letting them down, and I don't know. Like with someone like Kyrie, you do expect your floor to raise, but I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the chemistry, maybe it's the defense, the coaching, whatever it is, but
Mhm.
it just hasn't worked out, and they've been just falling and falling. Kyrie did keep them afloat last game. He did,
He
but
did. He did. Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much you can do. They do have 2 more games left against the Bulls and the Spurs, but they really have to bet on the guys ahead of them falling out for them to make it in.
My thing is, it's a contract year for him, and the Mavs are the one who can offer him the like the most money. I'm pretty sure. because bird rights, right, or whatever it is. They're the last team that had him, so they can offer him the most money. If he leaves elsewhere, like the Lakers or the Rockets, he won't make as much, and this is going to be his last big contract for sure.
Ryan, I'm sorry to tell you,
Yeah.
this is a source from Austin Chang. He is not
Ah,
re-signing with Dallas.
he is not
I'm
resigning with
sorry.
Dallas.
He's just
Ah,
not. It's just not happening.
this source is credible too. I don't.
Yeah,
That's
I'm sorry to tell you.
that's
It's just
that's
not
that's a
happening.
tough pill to swallow, man. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Okay, I'll say this: if he goes to LA, I might turn off the TV. Like I'll stop watching basketball. But
Just not watching.
wherever he goes, I just hope it's not the Lakers. Because goddamn,
Bro, he's gonna pull a 360 and go to Detroit. Like, I feel like that's a very Kyrie thing to
that'd be a
do.
W. That'd be a W team to head to. Honestly,
Yo, Cade, Kyrie,
K. Curry,
Wiseman.
Ivy.
Oh yeah,
Wiseman,
Ivy.
the goat,
I
of
was like
course.
Wiseman, Duran,
Bring back Jeremy Grant. I mean, come on, dude.
Jeremy Bogdanovich. Yo, that's
Guys,
a that's a top seven.
that's a top 15 team in the league.
That's
Honestly,
a top seven Eastern League, like,
top
Eastern
15
Conference
team in the
team.
East has to be.
Maybe top 15, definitely, man. Definitely top 15 in the East. Don't know where, but 100%. Um, have you heard about the new CBA deal that went down
I
recently?
did, but I didn't get to look into it, so I really don't know
Oh,
much
good. I
about it.
got some of the details here. It's going to be a 7-year deal, so
Okay, of
either side can opt. They can actually opt out a year early, like at 6 years.
course,
There's
which
going to
they
be
will
an
do.
in-season tournament, which I think is pretty cool, because like I don't know the specifics yet, but in-season tournament sounds pretty cool to me. You
Something new,
got
I
the
guess.
individual award eligibility. That's 65 games. So a player who wants to win like MVP or GPOY must play a minimum of 65 games, which it's fair. That's fair.
Okay, I agree with
I
that.
think that's fair. I think that's fair because you don't want someone who's like load managing half the entire season to win it.
True, but I mean, it does get sticky when there's a player that misses that time due to injury, and
Yeah,
for
yeah.
64 games, they average like let's say it's AD's averaging like 32, 15, like having a career year, and he plays 64 games. Like, I mean, you kind of have to give him the nod for
You
like all
can give him
NBA.
a nod, but at the end of the day, it's just like sucks to be you kind of thing because you're
That
one game short, right?
I don't know. That I think that's where it gets really sticky. Like when someone deserves it that much, it's kind of hard. Like let's like come on, you know.
I don't know. 65 is a pretty like you miss more than 65. That's a pretty big chunk of the season.
I guess.
Yeah, so I don't know. Best what I forgot what that saying is. Best something is availability. Best something is
Oh yeah, you nailed it.
availability.
You nailed it, bro.
Yeah, yeah, I nailed definitely, definitely.
The best
Um,
availability is availability.
yes, that one. That sure. Uh, just I think my last takeaway is probably the third two-way contract. So the roster size now increases from 17 to 18. I think that's a great thing considering all the talent that's coming to the league now.
If the Raps should have kept Jeff down, well,
They should have kept Josh Jackson from the start of the season, but it is what it is. Josh Jackson was playing so nice in summer league.
holding on to Josh Jackson is crazy.
I 100% would have. He was actually pretty nice in his rookie year. Like 2K ratings like an 80 or something. That was pretty good.
Yeah, and then he was like a 71. Crazy. Wonder why that
That's tough.
happened.
That's tough. That's tough. He still beat me in a game for sure. But but yeah, I personally think we need more expansion teams.
You think so? Oh man,
Yeah, more expansion teams, man. Like two more at least.
that is that's a big thing to add. It really is.
The NBA is a multi-billion-dollar business. I'm sure they can pull it off.
They can pull it off, but hmm, I
Okay,
think
okay. Let's say if I was the NBA and I approached you as my consultant, Austin, um, where should I put two teams in the league? Where are you putting it?
oof, I mean for sure Vegas. Like it just has to be
Vegas,
that.
hundred
It's been written
percent.
in the
Yes.
leaves. But in the East, like I mean, Who'd you put? I don't know either. Like,
Or we
is it?
could just shift Memphis to the East because that's kind of where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, and then add what
Yeah.
Seattle.
Who would you add? Who would you add?
I mean, I would love to have just Seattle back. I feel like that's the team that
Seattle back?
deserves it. But all the teams that deserve it are all on the West. It feels like Vancouver, Seattle, and Vegas.
Bro, I think the West is deserving of. I don't know. It's just there's more activity going on in the West side. Like I would love to see Vancouver get a team back. You know,
Okay.
but instead of like the Grizzlies, I don't know. They could be like the Igloos or something. I don't know.
The
I
Igloos.
don't know.
Oh man,
I've
that's
never been to
wow.
Vancouver. I don't know what they're like there.
Uh, I don't think that city exists, but
Vancouver?
no, it doesn't exist. It's a
Ah,
fake city. I feel like we should just delete the Eastern Conference. Like, how about that? I think that
just
sounds
make the
great.
whole
Just
league
make every team in the West.
in the
Let's just.
West. Yeah,
I think that'd be perfect.
yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, who would you like to add in the East? Like, would there be a team like
In the East, hmm.
St. Louis, maybe?
It's not. It's more of a baseball city, I think. It's not that big on
I
basketball, but
guess
maybe. Not me being like New Mexico, but
New
I
Mexico.
don't know. New
Maybe.
Mexico.
I mean, the NBA was talking about wanting to add teams outside of the United States and Canada. So
Yeah, yeah. I
maybe
think
a
New
team down in Mexico would be interesting.
Tijuana. Like, I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would.
Tijuana, yeah. Would that be an Eastern Conference team though? Probably, low key.
I mean, I guess it would have to be.
You're forced to be.
Yeah, you're forced. Then.
You're forced. I don't know. I don't know what other teams could be. I don't know other cities or states could need another team actually. But maybe I just don't know my American geography. So
I think that's really what it is because I'm
yeah,
kind of blanking as well.
yeah, all right. We're just not geographically intelligent. You know,
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
it is what it is. All right. One more topic. Um, Thunder in the postseason.
Oof,
They
love that.
they haven't been in a while, and it's fun to see an up and young, like young and upcoming team join the fray. Do you think they'll beat out the Mavs like that and secure a play-in?
I think I think they'll definitely be out the maps. I mean, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander this year has been a top five player in the league. He just
Hundred
has.
percent.
I mean, the way he's been putting that team on his back since the start of the league. I mean, we've seen Utah start the season hot, and we were like, oh, they have to fall off. And I mean, of course, they
And they
traded
kind
away
of
some
did.
guys. They did fall off. I mean, they still are playing pretty well, but it happened. But OKC, like with the lineup that they have, I mean, could you expect this team making the playoffs? Not at all. We seen last year. I mean, the OKC Thunder were bottom feeders. I mean, Shea was playing his heart out, but they just shut him down like almost like with a quarter left in the season.
Hmm.
This year they're pulling up with a bunch of rookies. I mean, their whole team is just composed of young guys, led by Shea Alexander. I can't pronounce his name, sorry. And
SGA,
then
yeah.
with Chet Holmgren out, I mean, how could you expect OKC to make the playoffs? I mean, it's insane that the run they've been on. Jalen Williams has, I mean, he's made a case for Rookie of the Year with the way he's been
Yo,
playing.
I think he's definitely one a good case for that. Yeah.
And I feel like with the way they've been rolling, I mean, how could you not see them making the playoffs? I mean, they're such a tight knit group. They might be the tightest knit group in the whole league, beating out the Grizzlies.
Mm.
And I mean, they have so much contributors on that team. Like, I love there's two guys on their team that I really like. That's JRE and Isaiah Joe. I mean, JRE is Jeremiah Robinson Earl. And then
Mm.
Isaiah Joe, who was on the 76ers. I mean, man, Isaiah Joe can shoot the lights out the ball.
I don't know why Philly waived him. Like honestly, I don't know why they waived him. Like the Thunder picked him up and
I
bam.
mean, look at him. He's one of the best 3-point shooters in the whole league. I mean, he's really lighting it up.
Okay,
And
but
even
yeah.
guys like Trey Mann, Usman Jang, like these are all guys that are contributing to a team that is supposed to be rebuilding. And with the way their coach Mark Daignault has been playing them, I mean, I got to give all the flowers to them. I mean, seriously, they've been really impressing me this year.
You would think someone like Josh Giddey would still be in, that sophomore slump or like he's trying to better himself. But no, this guy's playing at a pretty high level for
Oh
someone his
yeah.
age.
I forgot about
Not to
Josh Giddey.
mention, yeah, exactly, and not to mention like some of your more established veterans like Lou Dort, like like he is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league right now,
For sure.
especially at his age too. So like props to the Thunder. I think the Mavs aren't making the playoffs at all, but like the play in. So
I mean, they're really far out. I mean, I don't see where OKC let's lose to this. They have one more game left against the Grizzlies, and I mean, if the Grizzlies play hard and beat them, and things don't work out for the Thunder, then that would suck. But I mean, there's no way the Thunder don't make the play in for me.
Thunder are 100% deserving, and but our topic today in terms of the playoff predictions, I don't really have the Thunder moving too much.
Mm, me neither.
You want to delve into that?
I guess so. How do you want to start this out?
All right, so with the play-in tournament starting in a few days, with the four, the seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th seeds starting, I thought it'd be a fun time to, predict the playoffs. Or
Yeah, before the playoffs
for
are even set, let's predict the whole
yeah,
playoffs.
I think that'd be
Perfect.
pretty fun.
Let's go.
You want to start out which? Do you want to start off the better conference or the best conference?
Oof, what do you mean by that? Who do you think is the best conference?
Best conference is definitely the East. I don't know what you're talking about.
Of
Definitely it even rhymes.
course. All right. I mean, if you want to start with the East, let's get into it then.
Let's start with the East. All right, so we got. I think as of today, the standings are Milwaukee first, and then Boston, uh, Philly, Cleveland, New York, Brooklyn, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think Miami is in seventh,
Yeah, Miami
and
and
then is it
Atlanta.
Atlanta? Atlanta in eighth, Toronto in ninth, and then Chicago in 10th.
Right.
Yep. So let's start off with the very first round, the play-in tournament. Who do you have advancing to the seventh and eighth?
I actually don't have the standings moving at all. I think these are the two teams that are going to be in the playoffs.
You got Miami and Atlanta.
Yeah, I think they've just
Oh,
been.
crazy.
I think they've just been rolling. They are the playoff teams. I feel like the Raps and Bulls. I do like them as a team, but I mean, when it comes to playoffs, when it comes to winning clutch games, I mean, how could I go against Miami? I mean, seriously, I feel like they just don't let up.
Miami's been a little disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. With what they were the first seed last year entering the postseason,
Yeah,
kind
really.
of fell off a bit. But I think they'll still make it through because if you want a bucket, you call Jimmy buckets, right? Like
Oh God. I
that's
mean, it
that's the
sounds like
bottom
you don't
line.
have the. It sounds like you don't have the Hawks as your eight seed. Who do you have as your eight?
Like that's Jimmy Butler for you. Like it is what it is.
Right.
In
So
terms of the eighth seed, though, I think Toronto's gonna take it. Maybe
of
that's just
course,
me as a bias.
Homer take.
Yeah,
Come on.
but Atlanta's just been hella disappointing with that addition of Dejounte Murray. Like I really thought he'd do more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guess.
So like that, I thought that defensive offensive chemistry would have aligned a little better, maybe towards the midpoint of the season. But they've kind of just been average. So, and I think if you were to pit Toronto against Atlanta, I think Toronto's got bigger wings. Like everyone's just kind of big and you know large wingspan, good defenders. I think they have a better chance of securing a win,
I
securing a
don't know,
spot.
man. I feel like Atlanta, like their whole season has been a train wreck. I mean, all the chemistry issues, the coaching issues. I mean, just poor play in general. Like they have gone through a lot of stuff. Even Bogdan Bogdanovic missing the start of the year. I mean, they've had a lot of unfortunate things happen to them, and even then, like they're still the eight seed. Like they came back from like having a rough start. Now they went 3 in a row heading into the
Mm.
playoffs. Like I feel like Atlanta's rolling. They have a good coach on their hands, and Trae Young has been really turning it on. So I mean, hey, I love the Raptors. I love what they've been doing, but I think Atlanta just gonna they're just gonna squeak it out.
I don't know. Maybe I just don't like Atlanta like that.
Yeah, I think you're just a homer. I think that's really what it is.
Probably low key. Like I think for me it's Toronto, but Toronto's gonna get busted in the first round, so it's
I mean, yeah, whoever makes it is just gonna get
whoever makes it is
dunked
getting
on. So
destroyed by Milwaukee,
honestly,
bro. Like maybe we can inch a game, or like Atlanta can get a game or two, but ah, That'd be the hugest upset,
Giannis would like he would just never be the GOAT if they lose that series. But I
bro. He
mean,
gets to.
why not? Let's just get into the first round. Like let's just go with the 1-8. I mean, we just talked about it right now. I have the Bucks taking a 4-1 against the Hawks. I just feel like the Bucks being fully healthy and Atlanta like just coming off of those playing games. I just don't see how Atlanta can prove too much of a threat to the Bucks.
That's fair. That's fair. I got 4-1 against the Raptors. Same reasoning. I don't think Toronto has the personnel to go against Giannis, and then you have another big body in the paint with Brooks Lopez, who's low key been a pretty underrated, like
He's all NBA. I mean, he's not,
all,
but like he's all NBA caliber
all defense. I think he's all defense caliber, first team.
for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's been one of the best big men, like defensively, this entire year. And what, 33, 34 years old? Like, that's nothing to laugh about. Like this guy's just getting started.
Yeah, and I mean for the Hawks, like there are a lot of things that like I can say that when they go into it that will hurt them. Like the minutes without Clint Capella on the floor, like those are really gonna hurt. Like you're gonna have to depend on John Collins and Onyeka Okongwu to
I
be.
mean, he's Onyeka's been pretty good.
He's been good, but I mean against the Bucks, when you have Giannis coming down the lane, you have like a bunch of guards that are pretty savvy around the rim. I mean,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot to ask for those guys, and I think also losing Kevin Herter will. I mean, that might be the reason why they are an eighth. Like they've, I think his loss has been pretty evident for this team. Like to have a shooter that's that steady, that has that much chemistry with Trey Young, like it really hurts to lose him. And
hmm
I think those are two of the biggest reasons why they're probably gonna like lose the series. But I will say that Trey Young, I mean, he does pop off against the Bucks. I mean, it just
definitely,
happens. I think his offense is better than Drew Holiday's defense, and I think no matter what's gonna happen, he's gonna get his. But at the end of the day, like you gotta depend on DeJounte Murray to pop off. DeAndre Hunter will have to have a big series. John Collins, I mean, I don't know where he even fits on this team, but I think it's just too much to ask for that team.
definitely. And you can't even forget about Milwaukee's like bench players too. Bobby Porter's coming off. Uh, I don't know if Grayson Allen comes off the bench or not, but you got shooters off. You got pretty big bodies. Like Milwaukee's just they're them. Like they're them with a
Better than
capital T. They're them. Yeah.
fair
So yeah,
enough.
first round, 1-8. That's a Milwaukee dub.
All right, I think from that we can move on to the 2-7 series. Who do you
Two
have
seven.
taking the series against Celtics and the Heat?
I got the Celtics in five.
Celtics in five. Okay, why is
Celtics
that?
in five. Well, you can't never discount Jimmy. Jimmy's always bound to have good games. So, but I think Miami just struggled a lot this season with Kyle Lowry not playing that well anymore. I think there's been some disruptions between like the guards. Not saying that they're all performing terribly. Like Max Strus is doing great, Tyler Hero's playing pretty well, but there just hasn't been that much. That that last season feeling. And Boston's just been consistent all year round. You got Tatum, Brown, White, Smart, like everyone, all the guards there are playing well, and then Rob Williams, Al Horford, for like centers of their caliber, pretty solid as well. I think the only real threats that Miami has to counter is Bam and Jimmy, but Bam can only do so much, right? And
Yeah,
Jimmy's getting up there in age. Not saying he won't pop off a 40 every game, but if you don't have the right surrounding, like supporting cast around you, you can't you can't advance past a team like Boston.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel I have the Celtics taking it in six. I was kind of leading seven. I feel like the Heat kind of might put it on the Celtics. I feel
Yeah,
like
fair.
the Heat. I mean, their big rotation is probably the biggest question in this whole series. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, you have Bam, but I mean, who do you have after that? Really, it's Kevin Love. I mean, who's coming off
Wait,
the
is
bench for that
Dwayne
team?
Dedman even still there?
Is
Like,
Dwayne Dedman gonna come out of the grave and play 30
is he
minutes?
even
Like,
still there? I have no idea if he's still on
I
Miami.
think I saw him at the end of the bench maybe, but I mean, I think that's the biggest question for them. But I mean, there are two guys on the Heat that really do need to take over, and
I
that's
lied. He's in
Jimmy
Philly.
Butler. That wait, where's Dwayne Dedman?
In Philly.
Oh, He's in
Yeah, I
Philly.
didn't know that.
I mean, he's just bouncing around the league. I mean, you can't blame us
Probably
for not knowing that.
at this point, you can't even win with him. So
But
no
yeah, I
hate
mean,
to him, no hate to him.
Jimmy Butler will need to have a big series. I mean, I feel like when it comes to the playoffs, he always just takes over. I mean, no matter what. And I think Kyle Lowry will really need to show that. I mean, he can really lead this team because he was supposed to be the starting point guard that is playing all these big minutes for them.
Hmm.
That's going to be steady. That it's a guy that they can rely on offense and defense. The minutes without Bam, the minutes without Butler, he can keep them afloat. So I kind of need to see Kyle Lowry pop off for them. And I think the Heat, their biggest issue really was their offense. Like their defense has been pretty decent their whole year, but it's just the shooting.
Yeah,
I mean,
defense.
Max Strus could not like hit water out of a boat. It felt like. I mean, he just fell off completely, and he's someone that they rely on to make these shots. So if it does come down to Celtics 4-2 against the Heat, like the only way I can see the Heat winning some of these games is from the shooting. And I mean, the Celtics are fairly healthy. It's difficult to see them losing this series with Grant Williams and Al Horford as their bigs. I mean, Bam's a really good player, but I mean, you have two big men that have such like different skill sets. It feels like it's gonna be kind of hard to to game plan against the Celtics
I
for
know.
a whole like 7 game series. So I would it is 4-2 for me. Kind of leaning 4-3 if the Heat can get back on their shooting
Hmm.
mojo, but I mean I think the Celtics will just take it no matter what.
At this rate, they're gonna put like Haslam back in.
Oh, if they play
Haslam play.
Haslam, I
They're
mean,
like play 20 minutes a game for us, please. Like here, final
please, we
season.
need someone over
Do your
6'10".
thing. Do your thing, bro.
Good thing.
Do your thing. We'll just sit on the bench.
Yeah, and also the Heat. I mean, their guard rotation is a bit tough. I mean, are you going to rely on Gabe Vincent to be playing a ton of minutes? I mean,
Hmm.
it's difficult. You know, they have a lot of guys that are kind of unproven. I would say. I
I
mean,
mean, like Duncan Robinson hasn't been performing the best the last few seasons as well.
yeah, exactly. He's
And
really also
Oladipo's
fallen off.
been Oladipo. I wouldn't say he's been terrible. He's just been, it's not his indie self.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, yeah. It's tough to see Miami, to me at least, go down so quickly. But I think Boston advances regardless.
Yeah, I think they're just too dominant.
Right, 3-4. Who do you got?
3-4.
Or 3-6. I lied. Sorry, 3-6.
So this is the Sixers and the Nets, right?
Sixers and Nets. Yes.
I think we both know the answer to this question. Ryan, is this a sweep for you?
This is a sweep for me.
This is a sweep for me as well. I
This
feel
is a
like
sweep.
the Sixers are just way too
I
dominant
was
for.
gonna say you got Brooklyn advance. No,
I got
no.
I got Brooklyn in 4. Yeah,
You
for
got
sure.
Brooklyn in 4, bro. Mikal
No, yeah.
Bridges, 53 points a game. You already know.
I mean, yeah, the Nets are just so unlucky in this situation. I mean, they kind of traded their whole roster in the middle of the year, and I mean, they just stayed afloat. It feels like, and
I
if
love
they
how
and
the whole roster is 2 players, but go off.
I mean, hey, I mean, those two players are pretty decent. One of them it might just be a superstar. You never know, but yeah, I think no matter what, it's just unlucky. This really is just like a kind of a. I don't know, I mean, Philly always I feels like they have these kind of series in the playoffs where they just have a warm series at the start where they need to get going, and I think for this series they really need to kind of lock in, like, because
Mhm.
they really do get slapped in the second round. They kind of have issues with their
100%.
with what is it their is it like stamina? I guess their stamina like
Endurance.
they kind of just run out of gas. It feels like by the end
Yeah.
of the second round, and I
It's
think
been
they're
like it's been a trend for the last few years.
yeah,
So
exactly. And I mean, with a guy like Harden, he needs to really get it going too. Like I would really like to see Harden get to the line more. I feel like this year he's kind of fallen off from that. I think he only averages about 6 free throws a game,
but
7 free throws.
obviously,
Like
yeah, he's not Houston Harden no more, but I think he's still a damn good playmaker.
I mean, he still needs to have that impact for them to win the championship. I feel like so. I mean,
Mhm.
this is gonna be probably a sweep for them. Maybe 4-1. Maybe Mikal Bridges can pull out a Michael Jordan game.
I
But
think I think it's a sweep just because like outside of Mikal Bridges, I think Philly can guard every other position.
there's a lot of
And
guys on Brooklyn that I like. Let's not get that wrong.
obviously 100%, 100%. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think Brooklyn just doesn't have that superstar that can take them over the top. Like
I mean, they have
when
Ben
they had
Simmons.
KD,
They
right?
have Ben Simmons.
Is he gonna play?
I mean, he's a superstar. No, I'm joking. I mean, listen, they have a lot of guys that you would like on a championship team. You have Seth
Yeah,
Curry, Cam Johnson, Spencer Dinwiddie, Claxton, even Joe Harris, Patty Mills, Dorian Finney-Smith. I mean, there are a bunch of guys that these are like guys that would win you a championship.
These
but
are like they're
they're
high
really lacking
quality
on number
role
one.
players. Yeah, they're
Yeah, they're
high.
just
They're
Mikal
like
Bridges. Mikal Bridges is a
2017, 18 Clippers or something like that. I
what
was
team was that?
I think the one with Lou Will as their best player.
Who was their best player?
Lou Will, like back in the Clipper days, because that was a team full of solid role players. Like everyone there was a high level contributor, but they just didn't have that top dog to carry them. You know,
You never know. Maybe Mikal Bridges will have a really really good series, and maybe we can see getting him close because
he'll have a breakout
they have a
year.
good coach. They have good players. They have smart players. I mean, you never know. Maybe they can pull out a game or two, but I think if
Sure.
you're looking at it from the outside in, like looking at weeks in advance, how do you not have the Sixers winning?
Sixers winning. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah, exactly.
4-5. Cleveland, New York.
What do you have?
Okay, now I'm scared. I got the Cavs.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Caps
Donovan
and
Mitchell,
what?
Cavs, Cavs in six.
Okay, Caps and six. All right, fair enough.
Cavs in six. I think New York's been pretty good this year. Well, like compared to last year, definitely like a much more solid and strong team. I just think Cleveland's got a lot more dog in them.
They have a lot more dog in them, so they're gonna win.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. Like all these guys are so solid in their own right. And yeah, I respect New York. Adding Jalen Brunson was definitely the right move. The worst mistake that Dallas has made the last few years, probably.
Most
But
likely.
most likely, yeah. But I think Cleveland just got more dog in them. I don't know how to explain it, man. Like,
I mean,
it's a feeling. It's a feeling.
yeah, it is a feeling thing. I mean, this is a prediction. It's your opinion, of course.
What you got?
I have the Cavs as well, but I have this series really, really tight. I mean, this could just be a sweep. We never know, but I think the series is going to be tight. I mean, the Cavs have like a kind of a big 3+1, with Jared Allen being the
Mm-hmm.
+1. But I mean, Mitchell, Garland, and especially Mobley. I feel like Mobley, like he's really coming into his own. He's been very, very impressive this year. Like
100%.
I could see him rivaling for like maybe an All NBA third team. Like you never know next year because
Ooh,
he's been really popping off, and of course, like with the way they've been playing this year, they've been dominant the whole year. Mitchell could prove that he's a superstar. Garland has been playing like an all-star guard. I mean, I think it is gonna be close though. It is really gonna be close because I think people kind of sleep on the guys that the Knicks have. Like they have Brunson, they have Randall,
mhm.
but they have Quickly, they have my favorite role player, Quentin Grimes, and they have Josh Hart on that team. Like those are,
No,
I
no,
feel
you
like
make a lot of fair points
Josh
too.
Hart and Quentin Grimes, like those are two role players that could really shift the series. I mean, seriously, those two guys play hard, they rebound, they defend.
They're
Like
good defenders. They're good. They're good
that,
on the perimeter. They have what? They're also dogs. Like it's so
yeah, like
hard to say.
when you get the ball out of Brunson's hands, when you get the ball out of Randall's hands, like these are the guys that are going to be like getting their looks. And
But
if
once again, high level role players. Like
yeah, exactly.
you can't ask for any more. Like
But
they do their job really well.
yeah, but I really do think that what it comes down to is the Knicks center rotation is just not where it needs to be at this point. Like
You
when
got
it comes time to competing in the
Mitchell
playoffs,
Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein, it's just not going to cut it. Like no matter how you look at it, it's just not going to work. Like are you going to play Randall at the 5? Like that's just not going to happen. Maybe you
He's not
could,
big
but
enough for yeah.
with Jared Allen on the team, with Evan Mobley on that team, like that's why I feel like the Cavs are just going to win just cuz Evan Mobley, he just changes everything for that team. I mean, I think it's going to be
Hmm.
a really physical. It's going to be a rough series. It's going to be a lot of physicality, but at the end of the day, like the paint wins the game, you know. And I feel
Yes,
like
sir.
the Cavs are going to dominate the paint, and it's difficult in all terms. Like Randall, he takes a lot of shots for the Knicks. Like he probably takes the most shots. He always takes like over 15, 16 shots a game.
Hmm.
And when he's
He's not a
matched up
big
against,
playoff. He's also not a big playoff. Like he hasn't. I haven't seen anything step up for him in the playoffs either.
I mean,
So
that's neither here nor there, but I think just the matchup when it comes down to it, like he plays inside the perimeter, and when you have tall, lanky guys like Mobley in there and Jared Allen in there, it's gonna be tough to score. But you never
Definitely.
know. You never know. I mean,
100%.
at the end of the day, I have it in seven. I can see it going both ways. Brunson is one of the best guards in the league. I can see him
Mhm.
cooking up. I mean, Mitchell and Brunson, they do go back and forth. And
And yeah, Garland in that mix too. So that's kind
of
of why I have Cleveland edging them out, just because like if either Donovan or Garland have a bad game, the other one's going to step up, and Brunson just has to be consistent the entire time.
and I mean,
Right.
he's gonna be. He just is one of the most consistent players, and I feel like the series. It's. I mean, you could say you could look at coaching, you could look at schemes, this and that, but I think personally that this series is going to be a dogfight. It's going to be back and forth. It's going to be punch for punch. These are two teams that love the bright lights. I feel like these two teams love playing against each other, and I think this might have to be my like first round
The,
matchup of the whole
the
playoffs.
toughest one, like the toughest matchup, the
Probably the
doggiest of
most the
doggiest one.
doggiest.
Yeah,
I think the most entertaining. Like it's a must watch.
it's going to be fun to watch this one for sure. And it's good because I'll be done exams by then.
Exactly.
All right, so that's first round, right?
Yep, that's the first one for the East.
Right. What do you got for Cleveland, Milwaukee?
Oof, we're going for the full East here. Okay, okay.
The full East, all the way, baby.
Cleveland, Milwaukee. I have the Bucks winning it in six.
Yeah, same.
I think that's a fair prediction to make. I mean, I expect both of these teams to kind of shoot mediocre in this series. I don't know why. I just feel like it's just gonna happen. Like the way they defend, it's like you're gonna have a lot of guys throwing up shots. But the head-to-head matchup is close. I mean, both teams are pretty much tied. But I mean, again, I gotta say it. I think Mobley's gonna eat. I think Mobley has a chance to really cook up this game or this series. And I mean, like are you gonna put Brook Lopez on him? I mean, would you do that, Ryan?
Brook Lopez, I think, is going to be sticking with Jared Allen the entire game. That's just what I think.
I mean,
'Cause
who's guarding Mobley? Is it gonna be Giannis?
Giannis, probably,
I don't know.
probably be honest.
I just have a
I
feeling.
think
I
it,
don't know.
I think it'd be a fun assignment for Mobley to take on Giannis too. Like you're a young guy going up against a two-time MVP. Like we're going to see what he can do.
For
And I
sure,
think
but
Mobley's up. I think Mobley's up for it, but in the end, I think Giannis is still too dominant, especially in the playoffs. Like Giannis does show up. Like you've seen it, he does show up in the playoffs. So uh, Mobley's gotta be like the dog if he wants to shut him down.
right, right. I also feel like there are two things that kind of have me skeptical with the Bucks. Like I have the Bucks winning at six, but there are two things where one thing is I feel like how are the Bucks gonna adjust to like the way Cleveland plays defense? Like them having two big men, it's like such a different look compared to a
Yep.
bunch of other teams that play like kind of small
Small, like
ball or
smaller.
like
Yeah.
they have like an more athletic guy at the forward. Like even though Mobley's athletic, but like two 7-footers pretty much. Like
Hmm.
I'm interested to see how Mike Budenholzer switches up against them, and also I feel like the Bucks guard rotation is I'm pretty skeptical about that. I mean
I mean, Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen. Actually, don't know who else is in the back.
Javon Carter, Wesley
Oh,
Matthews,
true.
Goran Dragic, Pat Connaughton, Grayson Allen. I mean
This
I like
has
those
no
guys,
ability.
but are you gonna depend on Javon Carter playing all these minutes? I mean, they've been playing Javon Carter a ton of minutes, but who are you gonna go to when it comes down to the last few minutes or even just the fourth quarter? Like, who are you gonna rely on to set your offense and like be that guy for you? Because I mean, this is kind of a
Well,
rough guard rotation for the Bucks, other than Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday's down to about. I think he's bound to play 40 minutes a game
I mean,
for
he's
during that
probably gonna play the
series.
whole game. I mean, it's
Yeah, he's
tough.
most likely, yeah, because outside of like Giannis, who's our other All Star this year, right?
Yeah,
And then you have, I mean, I don't know if Joel Ingles can step up, like, and go up against. Obviously, he's a combo. He plays both the shooting and the small, but I don't know if he can do much. But Middleton's probably going to take a majority of that slot.
right,
And
right.
then yeah, and then I think although the rotation might be a little rough, I think Milwaukee edges out just because of the Greek freak. Like I think Giannis just the deciding factor. If he's not there, I think Cleveland has a good shot. But he's there, so
Hey,
I
I'm gonna
don't
say
know if I have to explain myself. So
I'm a Cleveland believer. I love their guys, and okay, pause. But
yeah.
this series, Mitchell could prove that he's a superstar. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like
Oh,
if Mitchell plays out of his mind this series, like he could enter the conversation of being like a number one guy. Because I feel like he's always on the fringe with this. Like he puts up really good numbers, but we haven't truly seen in the playoffs. Like if he can put up numbers against Milwaukee and make the series close or even win it, like he just has to be in that conversation.
I think I think Mitchell's been putting up numbers. He just hasn't just hasn't translated to winning. So I think that's the next step for him. Like put up
Translating
those
to
numbers
winning.
and win. Yep.
I mean, they've
Because
been the
Utah's
first seed
been
for about
bounced.
10 years.
I mean, Utah's been bounced in like the first, second round the last few years. So let's see what Cleveland Donovan can do.
Of course.
That's just my thoughts, right? But
So
yeah,
who do you?
Milwaukee's taking this one.
Of course. Who do you have for the Celtics and 76ers?
This was a tough one for me, but I'm gotta stick with my guy Jalen Brown. I think Boston takes in seven.
Woo. 7. Let's go.
Boston in seven. I think Embiid's been probably the MVP. I know like there's voter fatigue or whatnot with Jokic, but I think Embiid has just been so dominant this year, especially with like the season starting off slow. Like he's just been mad consistent regardless.
Right.
And now they're in the third seed, right? So and Harden has done his thing. Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, like they've all been doing what they can, and it, all thanks to Embiid, they're fighting for contender, like they're a contender. But I think with Jalen Brown doing what he can, Jason Tatum, and then the other personnel around them, I think 7 games for Boston is that's what they're going to do with Philly.
Yeah, it just seems like it's so hard to pick against Jalen and Jason. Like
That's a
the way
duo,
them two have
man.
been playing, it's so hard to pick against them. Like they just have like the perfect like team
Synergy,
comp.
right?
Yeah, it's just it's hard to pick against them. But this may be a bit controversial, but I have the
But
Celtics winning 4-1 in the series.
4-1, okay.
I just feel like the
And
Celtics are just gonna turn it on. Like I mean, maybe this is recency bias with the way that the Celtics swept the 76ers that one year, but that totally isn't fair. I mean, I think Simmons was out that series. Like they were pretty much cooked. But the way the Celtics have been playing, I mean, I think Embiid is going to dominate. He has historically dominated against the Celtics, but will it be enough? I just feel like we'll have to see. Like the way Harden plays will decide the series. Maxey should get a lot of shots and opportunities, but I just feel like the Celtics are just so dominant. It's going to be hard to see the Sixers having a chance to even score against them. And also Robert
I think
Williams matchup against Embiid, like it's gonna be interesting. I mean Horford and Rob Williams, like you have two big men that are capable that don't foul too often. Like it's gonna be tough to see this matchup, honestly.
no, I 100% agree with you. Like Philly has like 4 guys that can pop up for 20 each night. Like, right? You
Yeah,
wouldn't disagree with that. They have like 4 of them. But I think at the end, it also comes down to like who's been the most consistent throughout the entire year, who's got a history of not like Boston made it to the finals last year, and you're not going to discount that experience that they have, and they pretty much have almost everyone the same, right?
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think Boston in 7, but Embiid's going to put up a good fight.
Yeah, and
If they
also
get
like
swept though, I don't even think he deserves to be in the MVP conversation. But
I mean, it's gonna be too late at that point.
I
But
know, I
I
know.
just gotta say real quick, I think Brogdon will make a difference in the series. I really do think
Brogdon,
so. Yeah,
I think
I
I think he's been so underrated this year. I think.
exactly.
So yeah, we got. I guess we both got Milwaukee and Boston.
Yeah, we have the exact same bracket right now. This is a bit
One, all
crazy.
right, that's crazy. Except for Atlanta, but they got
True, true.
destroyed in the first round. So it's
Yeah, so it
okay.
doesn't really matter. It's a wash.
What do you got?
I have the Celtics being the Bucks in 7 in this
Oh
series.
shit! Oh shit!
In my opinion, this has historically been one of the most like anticipated matchups in the whole league, and they've always gone back and forth.
Nah, that I actually was leaning towards the Celtics too, because my guy.
Yeah, and
I honestly, yeah,
it really comes down to for me like there's all these stats, this and that, but it really comes down to the clutch. Like the clutch time will be the most important thing because I feel like all these games, but like majority of these games is gonna be really close. It's gonna be back and forth, just like the Cavs and the Knicks. And I mean, we'll have to see if Horford can have that strong of a series again. Because you know me, I am the biggest Horford believer. I was saying
yeah.
back
No,
in like
you've been
2019, 2020, Horford is better than Bam in the playoffs. I've been saying this. And guess what he did? He dropped 30 on Giannis's head. He dropped 30 buckets on
you
Giannis's
did.
head, made to the finals. But I think the biggest thing we'll see in this series is will Giannis even sit on the bench? I don't think Giannis is going to be on the bench this
I
whole
don't think
series.
No, like not to discount the Celtics run last year. I think they did incredible considering like everything, like how the season started and how it ended, right? I think they Boston did an amazing job. I think it all comes down to like last year at least, it came down to Middleton being there or not because he was not there for that series,
True. That's true.
right? And you got Middleton, he's healthy, he's getting into his groove. Like I don't know, playoff K is a different thing. So
Playoff K, I've never heard that before. Oh man.
I kind of just made that up on the spot.
Hey, W.
It's got a nice ring to it.
It does.
Okay, but like Chris Middleton, I think he's a solid perimeter defender. He can do his thing against Brown, so that's evenly matched, right? And
Okay.
then you're probably going to have Giannis on Tatum, so JT is going to have less like wiggle room, and Smart and Drew, that's also well matched. Then you have it comes down to like Horford and what Lopez.
But here's the thing, like the league has not it's not a matchup league anymore. There's a lot of
Definitely, no, I
switching.
get you. Yeah,
So I think no matter what the matchups are, it's all about how the team could play as a whole. Like if the team can play defense as a whole, if they can kind of slow down Tatum, because you can't stop. I guess you can't stop Tatum. Tatum
you
has had
can't
games
stop
where
Tatum. Yeah.
but can you slow down their offense enough to the point where you're making this like a grueling game? Because I think that's what the Bucks would want. They would want this game to be slow and like super
At
grueling.
their own pace, right?
Exactly. But I don't know if you can do that. Like Joe Mazzulla has been coaching a hell of a team this year, so it's really just gonna come down to coaching. I really feel like.
Who can make the best adjustments? Like who can just make quick decisions on the fly better? I don't know. At the end of the day, I think Milwaukee still takes it. That's just a personal opinion, just because I've seen what they can do like 2 years ago when they won the championship. So I'm a Milwaukee believer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fun.
We're gonna see who makes it to the West then.
Yeah, let's get it.
All right. 1-8.
Playing,
Oh yeah.
playing. Come on.
Yeah. My bad, my bad. So we got, if I'm not mistaken, Denver, Memphis, uh, Sacramento, which props to them, uh, Phoenix, Golden State,
It's Clippers.
Clippers,
Yeah.
and then the play-in is it Lakers, Pelicans, Timberwolves, Thunder? Is that the order?
Are you guessing it or are you
I'm
reading it?
guessing it. Right now I'm guessing the order. I don't know.
Because I have it in front of me right now. I mean, it seems like you're
Oh,
just reading it, dude. Goddamn. But yeah,
no, I'm
that's
guessing it
correct.
because I don't. Yeah, sorry. Did I get it right or no?
Oh yeah, you got it. You got it.
Okay, all right, yeah. So 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's Lakers, Pelicans, Timberwolves, and Thunder.
These
Who
are
you
a
got?
bunch of good teams. You know, these are teams that
These are
you
too
could.
close.
I mean, these like this is not like the East where it's kind of like you can kind of differentiate. Like the Heat are definitely gonna make it this and that, but maybe they won't. But this was tough. I mean, I feel like the way the Lakers have been playing, you kind of have to pick the Lakers. Like, I
I
mean,
do have the Lakers.
it's tough to see a world where they don't make the playoffs. They don't win the plan. So I have the Lakers, but for my 8 seed, I mean, you know me, my second favorite player in the whole league. I gotta have the
Units,
Timberwolves in
valid.
there.
Units, that's fine.
Man, get the hell no, man. Anthony Edwards is gonna carry them into the 8 seed. Like he's
Fair.
that guy. So I just have them making it in there. How about you?
Okay. Okay. I decided to play a little safe because all the teams are so like so strong in the West. I thought the Pelicans probably were going to take the 8 seed, just because I don't know if Zion's going to come back. I think we got news this morning that he probably wasn't, but I think if he does come back, they're bound to take the 8 seed. You still got Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, and Jonas Valanciunas still does his thing, a solid double guy every night. And then you can't even discount like the role players they got, like Trey Murphy, and can't think of who else is gone. But like I
Yeah,
think
come
the
on,
Pelicans,
man. How you
yeah,
gonna say the
I
role
can't say
players and can't name the role players?
I got Trey Murphy, but okay, but you you kind of get what I mean, right? Like I think the Pelicans are just really solid all around, and they can do their thing in a play-in.
I like their top end guys. I just don't know if I trust their back end guys as much. Like with Herb Jones not being able to shoot and him playing a ton of minutes, like it's difficult. It's difficult to see them like having enough guys to rely on to win these tight games. I mean, you're relying on Josh Richardson. I mean, Valanciunas is not even going to touch the floor. Like he's going to be played off the floor probably. So who else do you have to rely on? I mean, I guess it's Larry Nash Jr. He's going to play a lot of five. And I mean, I don't know if CJ and Ingram can play as well as they need to, then that'd be great. But I don't think I trust Trey Murphy. Like he's a rookie. Will Najee Marshall be able to contribute? It's tough. Like I think the Wolves just kind of have it locked down right now with Cat coming back. I don't know. I just see it going the Timberwolves' way.
Oh, okay, I can see the Timberwolves. I just think I was playing it safe, right? They were at the first seed at one point in the season, so I don't believe they won't reach that first seed status again. But they've got the chemistry. They've got the people that got them there. I think there's a
Do
good
they got the
chance they can.
chemistry, Ryan? Do they?
They had the chemistry.
All right, that's fair enough. That's
They
fair
had
enough.
the chemistry, yeah. But no, I wouldn't be surprised to see Minnesota take it either.
Exactly. Even the Thunder, I could see a Thunder making it as well. Like
Oh,
they've been on a
100%.
hot streak, so they're not on a hot streak, but they've been playing pretty well. So of course,
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. So yeah, 1-8. That's Denver and Timberwolves for you, and Pelicans for me.
I think we both have it going the same way in this series, unless you have kind of a crazy little upset.
Nah, I'm not that crazy. I'm not that crazy.
Fair enough. Okay, I have the
Denver,
Nuggets taking it in six. So
Denver
I mean,
taking it in five.
all right.
Denver taking it in five.
I
Yeah.
think for so let me speak on the Wolves side real quick, just
Yeah.
because you both have different teams. I think just the lack of center depth is going to kill the Wolves. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you have a guy like Jokic who just gets guys in foul trouble, who just abuses bigs that aren't, you know, defensively adept, like it's difficult. I mean, you have Towns and who else? Like Gobert, Towns. Towns is probably going to play like four, I guess, and then like Kyle Anderson. I mean, it even with Nas Reed, it was difficult to see them matching up. So I just feel like the lack of center depth is going to kill them. I do like Conley's matchup though. Conley is interesting. Like to switch from D'Lo, who's I don't know, D'Lo and Conley are such different players. Like they're both guards. They both are kind of like they have the same kind of offense. It's just the way that they play make it, the way that they lead their teams. I can see Conley and Ant having kind of this chemistry. And I mean, listen, you know me, Ant is my second favorite player. I could see Ant going off for some crazy ass games this season, this year,
Sure, yeah.
this series, especially against the defenders that they have on that team. Like, I mean, it's gonna be kind of a high scoring games. I would predict, but I mean, at the end of the day, Denver's Denver. They're fully healthy. I mean, come on, it's
I
got
mean,
to be Denver.
Denver's locked down that first seed for a while now. You can't discredit that. And Jokic is probably most likely going to win that MVP again.
Yeah,
I think they have it in the bag. I
yeah,
think
and
Denver's got it in the
also
bag.
just real quick, speak on the Wolves. Like the Wolves are already running like 7 man rotations, 8 man rotations. Are they gonna be able to carry like these
That
rotations
into
through the
into the
through the play into the playoffs? Like by the time they get to the Nuggets series, like they're gonna be burnt out. So
bro. They
I'm
don't even have Patrick Beverly this year. Like I don't know if they can.
I mean, yeah, that now it's over, dude. Because who's gonna jump on the scores table when they win?
That's what I'm
Who's it gonna
saying.
be? I mean, it's not gonna be Kyle Anderson. He's too slow to do that. Probably can't even get up there.
He's gonna fall before he gets on the. He's gonna jump up
Exactly.
and fall. Nah, but real talk. I think Denver's got it. I think we don't need to explain too much on that.
You don't have any opinions on the Pelicans? Like, well, maybe,
Pelicans, I think similar to what I was thinking about like earlier with Toronto. I think Pelicans do have they have really good solid players, but all around I think Denver's just much more dominant. Jokic can get you a triple double any night and still lead it to a win. Jamal Murray can toss anyone up. I mean, CJ McCollum's pretty solid too, but I think in terms of like skill set, I'd rather take Jamal Murray over CJ.
yeah. And there's just no
Oh,
defense on the Pelicans right now, so it's kind of tough.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if Zion was there, it might be a different story. But
Zion
by the way,
is a horrendous defender. What? Come on, let's be
no, but
honest.
in terms of offense though, I think
True, true,
they
true.
could push it to like 7.
Yeah. If they had Alvarado and if Herb Jones was shooting well, like I could see that, but yeah, I think the Pelicans just don't have a shot against this team.
Fair. 2-7. Memphis Lakers.
I think this is a crazy matchup, and for me, like I couldn't even make a decision for this series. Like it it hurt me going both ways, but I'm gonna say okay. I'm gonna say like with the least amount of confidence, I'm gonna say Grizzlies in 7. I have it going 50-50
Grizzlies in how much?
in 7.
7? I have Lakers in 7.
Yeah, for me, it's the Lakers have been so volatile this season. Like, I know now they're playing well. It's just,
I think they're getting it together at the right time. Like they're putting it all together at the right time. And this is the perfect time to like get those wins.
but I mean, I feel like a lot of guys are discounting the Grizzlies. Like, with their whole, I mean, it seems like all the contenders in the whole league have
In the
just
West,
gotten
yeah.
healthy. They've just gotten healthy. It seems like it's crazy. Like the
Phoenix
Grizzlies are
gotten healthy.
Phoenix.
Like,
I mean, Zion might come
Warriors are
back.
getting Warriors are getting all the guys back.
PG's
Like
coming
Wiggins,
back, right? Wiggins is coming
like it's
back. Like,
crazy. Everyone's just getting healthy at the right time.
I know, but this series for me, it really is a coin flip. Like, it just matters on what LeBron, what Anthony Davis are we getting?
Hmm.
Because obviously, I feel like, I mean, they are going to play hard, but we need Anthony Davis to take more than 20 shots. I mean, it's crazy how Davis has just not been taking shots. It feels like there are games where he just kind of takes games off. Like,
Hmm.
I'm not saying that's going to happen in the playoffs, obviously, but I mean, if LeBron and AD play at the level that they should be playing at, I think the Lakers could take it probably in 6 even. But you never know. John Morant, Desmond Bain, Jaren Jackson Jr., who I think is the X factor in this
There's
series.
probably It's probably a DPOY too.
Maybe, yeah, he really could be.
Probably, yeah. And
And
like I don't know, Memphis. Like I said, goes in game in 7, like Lakers in 7. So it could go either way. But I think the bottom line for me is don't doubt LeBron.
okay, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Zero Dark
He
Thirty
hasn't made a
23.
lot. He didn't make it last year, so he has something to prove. What is it? He has like 3 years most now in the league. He wants to make the most out of it, right?
Of course, of course. He's
Yeah.
hungry
So
and
I think
greedy, bro. He's real greedy.
don't doubt the king. That's all I'm saying.
Of course, but I mean, there are a few things I want to poke at. Like, I think Desmond Bain has a chance to like really get it going this series. I mean, on defense, I mean, who's gonna get Bain? Who's getting Bain on the Lakers?
True.
I mean, you have Reeves, you have Schroeder, you have Beasley, you have Troy Brown Jr., you have
I
D'Lo. Like,
think
these are all lackluster defenders.
the best defender is probably Beasley, but he's not even that. He's not a 3 and D guy. He's just a 3 guy, right?
Right, he plays hard. I mean, it's difficult. Like, Ja, obviously, like they're gonna focus on Ja a lot, which is gonna open these looks for Bain
Yeah.
and Jaren Jackson Jr. But the one thing that will decide the series is Jaren Jackson Jr.
And
and
Jackson
foul
Jr.
trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Because every game against the Lakers that they've played, he has gone 5 fouls. He's been playing well, but he just gets in foul trouble a bit too much against the Lakers. And obviously, with Anthony Davis, like he gets a lot of foul calls. But I mean, if he can stay on the floor, it will change everything for the Grizzlies. But it's just if he can. That's all I'm saying.
I'm calling it. If Jaren Jackson gets 2 fouls in the first quarter, Memphis is losing that game.
That's bold. That's bold.
I'm saying because you get 2 fouls in the first quarter, you got to be taken out because you're not. I'm not. I'm not. If I'm the coach, I'm not risking it, right?
All right.
Then who do you have next? Like who's going up next after like Jaren? Like
It's
Steven
like
Adams is good and
he's
everything,
gone.
right?
Yeah. I mean, he's not even playing.
But
He's out. He's out. Out.
oh, is he out for the rest of the season?
I'm pretty sure. And it's
Oh
Santi
damn.
Aldama. That's what you're putting up.
And like he's a big body and everything, but I think that's like free
Barbecue
food
chicken. Barbecue
for
chicken.
AD. It's he's feasting. He's feasting in the paint too.
But there's,
And
there's a
even if AD gets double teamed, like he can just swing out to a shooter on the perimeter because they have those now, right? Rui Hachimura's been
kind
so
of.
solid overall. Like he can drive in as well from the 3 point line. You have Malik Beasley sitting there, D'Lo's sitting there. Like it's a game. It's easy food once easy prey once Jaren Jackson Jr. fouls out.
Yeah. But there's also one big question for the Lakers, and that's Anthony Davis and his conditioning. Because believe it or not, like before the Lakers game against Utah, Anthony Davis hasn't played 40 minutes since December. He has
Mm.
been under 40 minutes. So in this series, like he has to play a lot of minutes. He's gonna play over 40 minutes, and night in night out, like is he gonna be able to keep that condition, keep that high level of play throughout the whole game? It's gonna be tough to watch. Like you never know. Like Anthony Davis has had a lot of injury concerns. Like it seems like if he just steps the wrong way, he's gonna break his ankle. So
Yeah, I know.
it really comes down to if he can stay healthy, then obviously like you can see the Lakers taking this series, but I mean, there's a lot of factors playing into this. I mean, LeBron. Obviously, we haven't even talked about LeBron. Like, he's he better go crazy. I mean, this is his time. Like,
He's probably going crazy.
he better, man. He's having a really great year. I mean, the last few games, it's been a bit it's been a bit sleazy, but I mean, hey, it's LeBron. You can't doubt the king.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I think for us, it goes either way. Can't argue on that.
Mhm.
Who you got for 3-6?
It's the Kings and the Warriors.
Kingdom Warriors or Kingdom Clippers?
I think right now they're tied. Who is the tiebreaker?
I have no idea. I in my thing I have listed as Clippers, but it could be the Warriors.
Maybe we should have seen who had the tiebreaker, but I mean, for me, I have the Warriors. I guess that kind of sucks, but I'm gonna just go with it anyways. I mean, listen, I love the Kings. I love them. Like their team is
No,
amazing. I love
nicely
Keegan
done, man.
Murray. I love Sabonis, but the matchup against the Warriors is a bit too tough for Sabonis to handle. Like I love them,
They're
but you can't
getting
deny the
Wiggins
Warriors.
back. They're getting Clay. Clay's been shooting lights out.
Yeah,
Steph with his sleeve. That's a whole different Steph right there. Like
yeah. I mean,
crazy.
a fully healthy Warrior squad is gonna be tough to look past that. I mean, also like the Kings, like they've never been successful. Like this team is super new to being this successful. Like I love like their composure. I love the way that they're acting about it. They're not boasting. Like they're just staying on their grind.
Mhm.
Sabonis has a lot of his hands. Fox, like I mean, he has a lot of his hands on defense as well. And I think it really just comes down to if Keegan Murray can stay composed. Like if he can stay composed, shoot the lights out, attack the closeouts, like be the kind of role player that they need him to be, then they have a chance. But I mean, at the end of the day, Curry, Clay, Draymond, that's a death lineup, man. It is what it is.
Honestly, like I don't have Warriors Kings because that wasn't my matchup when I initially did this. But I can see the Warriors taking it for sure if that was the case.
Right.
I got Kings Clippers because that was what I came up with, and I got Clippers taking it in 6 because similar story. You got Kawhi, PG, like they're doing their thing, and like you said, PG's going to be back for the playoffs, right?
Right.
And you got such high quality role players around them. You got Norman Powell, Ivica Zubac, uh, Reggie Jackson's not there anymore. Sorry, Bones Highland. Like you got a lot of these supporting cast guys that can help you out. I didn't even mention Russell Westbrook, who's been playing great. I don't know. I think even though Sacramento's been on such a roll this year, I think their youth will be their downfall.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, Clippers in 6.
Or six. All right. I guess
Yeah.
it's kind of tough that we did it before the playoffs actually started because now we have now we have
We
the
have two
Clippers on
different.
different fucking sides of the bracket.
Let me guess. You have Clippers with the 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And who?
actually, yeah, Suns and Clippers for. I mean, I think my matchups are a bit more crazier though. Like I'll be honest, Suns
Probably I have
Clippers.
Suns and Warriors, right? So it's like,
Oh, that is actually pretty spicy. Durant going
yeah,
back to the
but I
Warriors.
have Suns and Warriors there. I don't know who you got going on forward, but I've got my guy.
I mean, you had the Clippers going forward on that side. I have the Suns beating the Clippers in 7 here.
I have the Suns going forward on this side.
So do you want
I
to talk about
think.
your side first, or I think you should go
Well,
first.
all right, sure thing. KD. I think that's pretty much the deciding factor. Like we said, we alluded to earlier, like 8-0 start. Like when KD's in the lineup, I think Kevin Durant just does things that no one else can. Like, how are you guarding a 7-footer with skills of a superstar guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can't, not to mention CP3 pulls through in the playoffs. Devin Booker, we've seen him in the finals. We've seen him put up 28 a game. We've seen DeAndre Ayton being one of the best defenders and best big men during the postseason run. And then Torrey Craig, Terrence Ross, Campaign. Like, obviously, some of these guys haven't been doing their best this year, but they've had that. They've had their showing in Phoenix. They've had their showing in under the spotlight, right? I think I don't know who the Warriors can put against Kevin Durant, and praying that they can find somebody, but you're probably not going to be able to put Wiggins on him for 48 minutes. I think that's the bottom line.
Fair enough. I mean, I believe in Wiggins. I'll say it right. I believe in
Yeah,
Wiggins.
no, fair.
But
What's your reasoning? Yeah, what's
I don't
your
know. On
reasoning?
my side, I also have the Suns moving on against the Clippers. The Sun. I think when it comes down to playoffs, the stars win the game. And
Yeah,
the Clippers obviously have stars, but like Phoenix has KD and Booker. Like it's tough to pick against KD and Kawhi. But I think at the end of the day, like I think just the top end talent beats out depth. And Clippers have a lot more depth, and yeah, they have a lot of guys. Like they have, he said Bones Highland. Who else did he have? Like Norman Powell off the bench,
Powell,
Mason
Zubac,
Plumlee.
Mason Plumlee,
Isn't Zubac starting? Yeah,
fair.
Zubac's is
Yeah, yeah,
starting.
yeah.
But
He does. Yeah,
I just think it's also gonna be a tough series. Like I have it in seven, and the Suns, the backup big men, they're not the greatest. Like Jock Lando, like I mean, it's not looking good. But I mean, the
is
Clippers
that
don't have,
Biombo? Like,
yeah, but they don't have star big men. So it's like that's not the
yeah.
biggest of your worries. And you have PG coming off the injury, but like CP3 in the playoffs, I mean, it's hard to pick against that. CP3 turns it on in the playoffs.
CP3 himself is already worrying for the Clippers to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing. Like, who's gonna guard CP3? I mean, I think he's gonna get. If you put Westbrook on him, that's easy foul baiting. I mean, that's just too easy.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm confident the Suns are just gonna pull it out. Aiden's probably gonna dominate. I mean, come on, Aiden against Zubox, Aiden against Plumlee. I mean, it's barbecue chicken, dude. Come on. But at the end of the day, like, in all these series with stars and like you have all these stars that you think are gonna go back and forth, it really comes down to the role players and like the guys that you have playing over 35 minutes that aren't your star players.
Hmm.
And I think it really comes down to Josh Okogie and Eric Gordon. Those are two of the guys I'm looking at to contribute to each of their respective teams. Like if Okogie can disrupt on defense against Kawhi, against PG, like help out, like play good help defense, rotate well.
Collection,
It's
right?
tough. Yeah,
Steals.
he's a tough guy to play against. And Eric Gordon, like him being the shooter that he is, like the Clippers have a lot of guys. Like you like the guys on their team, but they don't have all that much shooters. I mean, you have Batum, you have Gordon, and who else is playing a ton of minutes? I mean, it's hard to see.
Man,
Like
right? You could like if you're putting man,
Man's not
if
a
you're
great
putting
shooter.
man, well, like he had popped off in the past, right?
He has, and he's been
He
improving.
has, right?
But Gordon's the
Well, he's
guy
on.
that can spot up at the hash
Mm-hmm.
mark. He's someone that he can bail you out. Like when it comes down to like you need someone to just throw up a shot.
He
Like
won. He won. Yeah, he won Sixth Man of the Year in the past too, I think. Or he
yes,
was a yeah. So he's bound to pop off. But I think at the end of the day, for Phoenix, it's just star power, like you said. It's a superstar driven league.
I
You
mean, I'm
need
not
guys like that.
discounting Kawhi. I mean, Kawhi. I mean, he
Oh
might be
yeah.
better than KD in the playoffs. But it's difficult to bet against KD. I think this comes down to
Well,
and
you've
also
got more than one superstar on.
yeah. And I
Well,
just believe
according
the
to Devin,
team. I believe the team
according to
that
Devin Booker, they only have one super. They only have one All Star, so like it's not a super team.
yeah, and I just believe the team that made the finals. They made the finals in
Yeah,
the past. They have the experience with the same coach, kind of
same
the same
coach,
guys.
same main guys at least,
Yeah,
and you just added a two-time Finals MVP. Like,
of course, losing
there's
Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, like your two
hurts.
wings, it hurts a lot, but I still think they can pull it out.
I mean, they tried with the free like the bio market. They tried there.
I feel like Jay Crowder would put his pride aside,
Jay
but
Crowder's in Milwaukee, bro. Like,
well, if he could put his pride aside, I mean, he would have
yeah,
still been there.
it's tough. It is what it is. So we got Denver, Phoenix, and then you have uh Grizzlies and Warriors, right?
Yeah,
Yep. So that second one is different from mine because I got Clippers, Lakers, which is the Battle of LA.
yeah.
But let's hear what you got
For what?
for the Denver and Phoenix.
Denver Phoenix. I was turning and tossing on this one. Like I really didn't know who to put here, but I think I just have to go with my boys now. I think Denver's gonna pull it out in seven.
Oh shit. Okay.
I mean, it's a tough question to see on how the Nuggets are gonna guard KD, but I think that their team defense as a whole is actually really strong. Like, yeah, Jokic is a weak defender, but the fact that they've been number one in the league, like they've been first place in the league with Jokic as their center, like I mean that must mean their defense is something, right? I mean you have Aaron Gordon, you have MPJ like coming off. He's not the greatest
He's
defender, but
not a great defender though.
but
Like,
him off the weak side, coming down for blocks, coming out for help defense. He is great. He is great at that. He is great at timing blocks. Like he's someone that I think will turn on in the playoffs when it comes down to the defense. And I think MPJ has to cook. He has to cook in this series.
I mean, if you're paying your third highest paying guy, like if your third highest playing guy is not not cooking. Like I think it's time to consider other options, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, like I'm not even gonna doubt you. Like you got Bruce Brown, which has been a solid contributor throughout the year and in the postseason for the Nets. Aaron Gordon's been doing his thing. Like he's been playing much better in Denver compared to his Orlando days. But I don't know. Outside of that, I think because Phoenix just hasn't had a whole lot of time with KD sideline too, right? And like they're playing it all together. I think Phoenix takes it in six.
Win six. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, I think Phoenix takes it in six.
I think Aiden is kind of flying under the radar here. Like, if you're Phoenix, like, it's you have Aiden. Like, I think Aiden just he makes every series like such a different look.
Mm-hmm.
So when you because Aiden has already defended Jokic in the past, and we've seen how that turned out. So of course I'm skeptical about that. Like I can see it going either way, but I just think Denver's gonna figure it out this year. Like Murray has been playing really well as of late, and this is really going to be a Jamal Murray and Devin Booker show. I feel like KD's going to get his, but at the end of the day, like when it comes down to the clutch, I think Booker and Murray is going to be a dogfight. And also, I can see Aaron Gordon, like providing huge value. Like he's someone that's kind of flying under the radar. Him and Jokic have this connection that's like it's so hard to break up. Like they have so much chemistry together, and without like all the backing guys like the Suns that they don't have, like I think that's where role players shine. When the other team
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have backing guys that are smart that can defend hard, like it's difficult, to defend the cuss, defend like
Yeah.
the little things that get you on the board.
Who's got CP?
Phoenix does have CP3.
Did you forget? Or
I mean, listen, this is a prediction. It is a
okay,
prediction.
okay, okay. Fine.
I think Denver just the way they've been playing, the way they play as a team together, like the amount of time they've had together, like I don't want to bet against Denver. Like I love them playing this year. They've been healthy for the first time. MBJ doesn't have back injuries. Jamal Murray's fully healthy. Jokic just probably had the best year that he's ever had. Like I understand CP is there. Like he's the guy that I keep looking at and saying that hey he's gonna cook up no matter what. Like he's gonna get a lot of looks. But I just love Denver. I don't know. I'm like I'm
Mm.
like I'm like stuck on them, dude. It's difficult for me to vote against them.
And here I was like, you forgot Mr. State Farm? Like, how could you? How could you?
I mean, did you forget KCP? He's been that one year with the Lakers when they won the championship. He was
Yeah,
their third best
true.
player.
He was their third. I mean, like, yeah, I would say so. I thought Alex Caruso did pretty good too.
But when it comes down to it, he is the 3-and-D guy. Like he
You're
he
probably
just is.
that's what KCP stands for, 3 and D.
Literally, and he pops off in the playoffs, and I think he's one of the most trustworthy guys you would like on your
He does
team.
his thing. He does his thing.
So how about you? Like, I mean, what's your outlook on the series?
Well, in terms of Phoenix Denver, I had Phoenix taking it in six. Oh, in six, right?
Mhm.
Well, that's honestly that's what it came down to. Like I said that there was more time. Like they just had less time with KD. Phoenix just had less time with KD because of his injury. But ever since he's been back, 8-0, he's been playing super well. They seem to have that chemistry going already. And KD shines bright when the lights are on him. I think he can get double teamed and he'll still shoot it. He'll still manage to find Booker. He still manage to find Torrey Craig on the wing. Like
Corey
it's an
Craig.
easy. Like I think they're all not terrible shooters. They can get open looks, right? So Phoenix in six, but I don't have doubt that Denver could pull through. I just think that Phoenix got the Phoenix got that better got the better chance.
Yeah, they do have KD, and you can't doubt KD.
Yeah. So yeah, we got our West looks different now. Our West is
Yeah, like
looking different.
this bottom, like us just not reading the standings correctly, led us to different series on the bottom
Different.
half.
So what do you have for your matchup with
The Warriors and
Warriors?
Grizzlies.
Yeah, Warriors. That's a fun matchup.
It is a fun matchup, but I think the Warriors are taking it. I mean, this is one of the most entertaining rivalries. Dylan Brooks and Draymond Green.
Draymond Green, yeah.
But I just think that the Warriors have the veteran experience, and when it comes down to the playoffs, the winners know how to win, and the Warriors are winners.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Dylan Brooks is gonna get into foul trouble, and I mean, I feel like that kind of helps them, but at the same time, it's he is their energy, he is their soul, and when it comes to the playoffs, like you're not looking at
Well,
just
he's their Marcus Smart, right?
yeah, he is,
He's
and
their
you need the energy. Like in the playoffs, it's not just who's putting up numbers, this and that. Like it's the energy, it's the way your team's feeling. It's about who has the momentum, and he really is their soul.
mhm.
And I feel like this series is it's not gonna be as much as about the players. Like both of these teams have amazing talent, but can Taylor Jenkins outcoach Steve Kerr? That's the question I'm asking. Because Taylor Jenkins is a really really good coach, but like the
Like,
matchups,
does he have years of playoff experience compared to what Steve Kerr's done in the last few years?
he doesn't. That's the point I'm trying to like
Yeah.
to make here. Like it's gonna be tough for Taylor Jenkins to outcoach Steve Kerr. Maybe he could. Like the guard matchups are interesting. John Moran, Steph Curry, Desmond Bain, Klay Thompson. It's just how are you gonna work around that? Like, is there gonna be foul trouble between Looney and Jared Jackson Jr.? How are you gonna work your lineups if those guys do get in foul trouble?
These guys are gonna follow each other out like that's.
Yeah, like they might have to. Like Santi Aldama might put up 30 points in one of these games.
And then you have what Dante DiVincenzo putting up 40. Like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
exactly.
surprised.
I mean, and also is the only question that I really have about the Warriors is like, are the Warriors gonna stay young enough and rejuvenated enough like throughout the series? Like this is gonna be a tough series. There's gonna be a lot of battling, a lot of trash talk. Like the
It's gonna be
Warriors,
a fast series. Like Memphis is gonna want to play at their pace, which is
exactly.
fast basketball. But
Yeah,
Warriors, they know how to control it, right? They can slow things down if they need to, pass the ball around, make sure player or Poole gets the open look. Like
yeah. Just the Warriors
Warriors
are
are
getting
smart.
old. They're getting old. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
They are, yeah. But they have some young talent on their hands, so maybe you can like let Steph be the sixth man again.
Give Jordan
Six
Poole
man
all the
Steph.
shots. There's no
Exactly.
issue.
If there's a baddie in the front row, you already know
It's over,
he's
dude.
putting
It's over.
69. Like that's just it. But yeah, that's I don't have too much to comment because we don't have the same
I
matchup,
know,
right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
that's fine.
But yeah, Lakers and Clippers for me. As much as impressive the Lakers have been doing, I think playoff Kawhi is a different beast. And like Russell Westbrook, that would be a nice redemption story for him. Like you discounted me, you threw me aside. Now I'm gonna show you what I got in the second round. Clippers in six.
Ooh, six, not even
Yeah,
seven. Why
Clippers
is
in
that?
six. Well, who do you have putting against? Like, who are you putting against PG when he gets hot? PG can go off for 40,
Hmm.
right? Kawhi can guard anyone on that roster, and I think Russ is just gonna have a great series because of that chip on his shoulder. I think those are my three guys, and then I think Tyronn Lue knows how LeBron plays. I think that might come into effect. He knows his tendencies. I think that could be a factor in it as well.
Hmm.
And I honestly I'm not too sure how long Darvin Ham has been like the guy, like the head coach. But if he doesn't know how to adjust accordingly and appropriately at the right scenarios or right times, I think they might be in trouble if the Clippers are having a good run.
Yeah, I think the Lakers are kind of in a tough spot here. Like they don't have a lot of smart defenders on that team as a whole. I mean, you've seen time and time again the Lakers guards have missed rotations. They've missed assignments. Like
It sagged off a little bit.
yeah, they kind of just give up too much shots. And the Clippers have so much talent on their roster, and I feel like they play so tight knit. Like they know where each other are at. Like Batum is the one guy I feel like they're just absolutely puts them ahead of the Lakers here. Like
Yes.
Batum is gonna get so much open looks. He plays smart. He knows how to exploit weaknesses, and yeah, I think I agree with you. In this series,
And
like
then you
I
have
think the
Norman
Clippers got
Powell,
it.
who's Norman Powell's a champion. He can put 20 a night as well off the bench. Then you have
Right.
Mason Plumlee, who can provide solid defense out. Like once AD comes out of the game from center, like who are they putting Mo Bamba in for the rest of like another 20 minutes? I don't think so.
He might
I
not
think
even touch the
Mason.
floor.
That's what I'm saying, right? That's what I meant. Like he's probably not going to be playing DNPs. And then you have Mason Plumlee in there. Zubats is probably going to stay for a good chunk.
I think
I think
they have their number on for the centers. Like I think Plumlee and Zubox are like perfect for guarding Davis,
Yeah, for sure. They're big bodies, but 7 footers, seven
yeah,
footers that are defensive minded. Like
and
they
they're
don't
smart.
need they're not thinking of I need to get a bucket. They're thinking I need to stop this guy.
I need box out. I need to make sure this guy doesn't get open. Like they're both smart players, and Plumlee he's gotten a bad reputation as like a dumb player on this and that. Like I don't get where that comes
He's
from. Like
he's not a dumb
he's
player.
very solid. Like he's very solid. Like people see like he makes clumsy mistakes time and time, but like he's smart. He knows where to be. He knows how to position. He knows how to rebound. Like he does his job really
Mhm.
well.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think I'm wrong in thinking the Clippers are going to take this in 6. I think all these factors combined, they're they're beating the Lakers. Battle of LA. I think Clippers are the kings in this one.
Mm, yeah, I agree with you.
All right. And then yeah, our matchups are wildly different
Vastly
now.
different. Vastly different. Both valid
Vastly
teams though.
different.
They're valid teams
Yep.
though.
100%. I think everyone in the West is valid
True.
outside of
Don't say
Houston,
it. Don't
but
say it. Oh, Houston. Okay.
outside of Houston, but but like go ahead. What's who do you got in your matchup?
Well, Nuggets Warriors. We've seen this matchup before. I think the Nuggets are
Mhm.
gonna take it.
Oh shit, you
I
got
think
Nuggets going all the
I think the
way.
Nuggets are going all the way to the finals. Like I have it in 6 games as well, but I think Jokic ball kills the Warriors. When you have a big man
Yo,
like big men have historically just dominated the Warriors. Embiid, Jokic, even Giannis to an extent.
yeah,
Put some numbers. It's difficult to guard someone that's that big. Like Draymond can only do so much to disrupt. When you have a guy that knows what he wants, knows how to get to a spot, it's difficult to stop
I
him. And
get
I
it.
just don't think like with Looney and Draymond is just not going to be enough. And at
Mm,
this point,
but
I feel like the Warriors like they might not have enough juice. But what were you gonna say?
oh no, I was gonna say like, outside of them, you're not gonna be able to put anyone to guard. Like Jokic is just gonna just do his thing in the paint. Like you try putting like another forward like Moses Moody, Kuminga, or like even Wiggins on him, they're not gonna do much. Jokic is just such a big body, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you're
Yeah.
you're you're relying on Wiggins to make these reads. Like I think when it comes down to cuts and all these actions that Denver likes to play, like it comes down to the wing to really make the biggest rotation. And you're putting a lot on Wiggins against Denver. Now, one thing I will
Asking too
say,
much.
yeah, I think one thing I will say is that the Warriors running pick and rolls, like Jokic in a high pick and roll, it's gonna be interesting to see how much they're gonna run that and how Jokic is gonna play defense in the series. But I think I trust the Nuggets to make the correct adjustments and like to put in the right guys at the right times. And at the end
Hmm.
of the day, I think KCP puts it over the edge. Like shooting wins series, and KCP is one of the best shooters, one of the most trustworthy shooters you would want in a series. And I just
Sure.
think they're just gonna outduel them in the
Outshoot,
series,
outshoot them.
outshoot them, outduel them,
I mean,
anything,
I
outbody
mean,
them.
like still got Steph and you still got Clay, and Poole can do his thing too. So I don't know if they're going to outshoot them, but
I didn't see
I
outshoot. I
think.
didn't see outshoot.
Oh, I thought you did.
I said outduel.
Abdul, I lied. I lied. That's me then. That's all me. But yeah, I think you make a fair point. I don't have that matchup. Can't comment too much, but I think Denver definitely has the bodies to go against the Warriors. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Steph explode that series.
Hey, yeah, hold on. What you mean by Steph explode?
You know, 50 a night, 60 a night. You know, Steph shows up, and
True,
like
he does.
yeah, and if they do choose to play Iguodala, like I don't know, man, like open shot.
Wait, Iguodala.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have him take the shot.
I mean, game on the line. I mean,
Game on the line. Steph or Iggy, who you got?
fucking death beams point out at the earth.
I want Iguodala. Like
Straight up.
that's just the
Straight
bottom
up.
line. That's the bottom line. But yeah, I respect that match that you got.
I mean, I'm sticking with my guts. I think Denver has proven to me this year that they're serious, and they do have
Okay.
the most pressure amongst every team in the league, and I think they're
Hmm.
gonna pull it out.
Okay. That's I'm not disagreeing with you. I think you make good points.
How about you though?
Phoenix Clippers, like ah, this was a tough one. This was really tough. They've matched up before in the past, but they matched up under different circumstances. Like Kawhi had an ACL injury at the time. KD was even on this roster, And even though Phoenix did take it in the past, sorry man, I'm still
Ooh,
taking Phoenix over this. I'm still taking Phoenix over
oh,
this one.
rocking with KD. Okay.
I'm rocking with KD. Like as much as I love Kawhi, I think KD is a different monster. And then because he's still got Devin Booker to watch out, he's still got CP3 to look out for. Like I don't know. I think Phoenix is going to pull out, but it's going to be a tight matchup for sure.
Ryan, talking about tight and then pulling out. Ryan. Oh my goodness, dude. Stop yourself.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize, man.
No, but I agree with you. I think the Suns like having KD and Booker. Like, how do you deny that? Like, even if you're the Clippers, it's difficult to guard two of the best scorers in the league.
Yeah, like it's I don't know. It's it's gonna be a fun matchup if this goes according to my predictions.
I mean, it sounds way more realistic that your bracket is gonna come to fruition than mine. I'll just say that.
I feel like you got some good takes though. I'm not gonna lie, you got some fun takes going on.
I'm rocking with my guns. You know, it is what it is. But I think you're really putting your brain into it more than I'm putting my heart into it.
You know, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair then. That's fair. But like the real question we want though, who do you have winning the chip?
We both have the Celtics. Oh no, you have the Bucks, don't you?
I have the Bucks.
You
Yeah.
have the okay. So your matchup is Phoenix, Milwaukee, a
Yes.
rematch.
Yep.
I have the Nuggets and Celtics.
Yep. So who do you have taking this one?
And now, who do you have, Ryan? Because I feel like you have the matchup that we've seen before. I think it'd be much more
You
important
know
to
what's
get your
crazy?
view.
You know what's
What's
crazy?
crazy?
Like the last hour, you've been hearing me fawn over Phoenix. You've been hearing me like hype up the Suns. Like,
Oh
can't
no!
stop KD, right?
Don't do it! Don't do it!
Milwaukee in seven.
Oh my god! Ryan, how could
who's
you?
lock? Who's locking up KD, bro? Who's locking up KD all series long? You tell me.
Man, you switch on Drew Holiday. Hey,
You switch on Drew. Like Drew Holiday's locking down both CP3 and Devin Booker. Then you have Chris Middleton who can back that up as well. Then you have Giannis on KD all series long. Like even if there's a switch, he's just gonna like fight through his screen. He can push anyone down.
I don't
That's
think
Giannis.
Giannis will be on KD. I'll say that. I don't think
You
so.
think so?
I don't think he's gonna be on KD.
Who's gonna be? Aiton?
I think it's anyone. I don't think it matters who's on KD. It's gonna be who's gonna help on KD. That's the real question.
Okay. Okay. I mean, if you got Chris Middleton and Giannis, like,
I
good
guess
luck.
I can see Chris Middleton starting. I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. Like, KD doesn't have a lot of options to see it. It's difficult.
Yeah, and then I think they have another low key DPOY in the back with Brooke Lopez just like hovering next to Dayton. Like, I think it's just, I think it'll be too much. As much as I want CB3 to win his first ring, I think it's it'll be tough. It'll be
The
too tough
matchup, the
for
matchup is just
yeah,
so tough for Phoenix in the series.
yeah. So yeah, Milwaukee in seven. That's what I got.
But it's gonna be a war. Like, you could see it going either way,
Oh,
which is fun.
it's a finals rematch. It's you already got history there, like, and you want KD wanting to prove himself, right? But
Yeah,
I think when it comes down to like being being realistic, I think Milwaukee stands a better chance too.
yeah. I think in that series, I would have to agree with you there. Yeah. It's just the
Mm.
matchups are just too cooked for the Suns. Like, it's difficult when you don't have all these guys behind the scenes like hustling and like shooting, defending. Like, it's
Yeah,
difficult when you only have stars.
yeah, and like it hurt me so much to say the
I
Phoenix
know.
Suns are. Yeah, it hurt me
Ah,
so much, but I was like, gotta be realistic, you know?
true, true.
Yeah,
That's fine. That's fine. I would love to see Booker get a ring. Oh my god, CP3 getting a ring. Ah man, that hurts.
who you got? Boston,
Nuggets,
Denver.
Celtics. I have the Nuggets taking it in seven.
I really thought Boston would have pulled through for you, but you know,
I
I
no,
guess
I just
I guess they were
I'm a
sticking with your gut all the way.
I'm a miner today, dude. I'm mining away, bro. I'm mining for gold, bro. I think Denver is gonna just gonna
Well,
take it
get the
home,
gold digger right here. Like
dude. I'm digging for gold. I'm mining for gold, dude. I got the pickaxe in my hand right now,
got
but
the diamond pick. You're ready to like go.
dude, I'm going crazy, dude. But I think it's 50-50. Like I'm not saying like I'm not like, picking them at super confidently. Like I think it's gonna be like a super close series. Murray's gonna have to be at his peak. MPJ is gonna be has to be at fuck. MPJ has to be at his peak. But so does Jalen and Jason Tatum. Like I think these guys match up pretty well together. Jalen Brown is
I
probably
think,
gonna be the biggest contributor.
yeah, I think, but in terms of like if the Celtics do make it to the finals, I think both JT and JB are going to be hella hot. Like, it's
You
just,
think so?
yeah, I think I'm a JB believer.
I think
I'm a,
after
I'm
versing
a believer.
all those defenders in the East, like you scheme for a certain team, like it's gonna be hard to scheme against Denver. I mean, it is like your KCP, Aaron
Mm.
Gordon as your ring defenders. Like that's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, I think it's better than Middleton and Bobby Portis for sure.
Low key, low key.
And just the amount of offense that Denver has, like I mean, their matchup it's always been fun to watch, but
Mm-hmm.
also it comes down to is like you're only expecting like 2 to 3 guys coming off the bench to contribute.
Yeah, that because the playoffs, the rotations get cut.
And I think
Like, man,
for a
man,
starting lineup,
stupid.
like think I like Denver's lineup better than Boston.
I
I
don't
think
disagree with you. I think they're pretty good all around.
and
I don't know. I don't know. I think you're right. I think you might be right there.
I expect foul trouble to be a big contributor in the series. Like if Horford and Robert Williams get into foul trouble, because I love them as defenders, but guarding Jokic is a whole different task.
Mm-hmm.
And if any of those centers get into foul trouble, like it's gonna be tough. Because are there enough centers to guard Jokic? Like if one of those guys get into foul trouble, you're expecting someone that's gonna be playing like probably 35 plus minutes to
Yeah.
continuously have to guard Jokic. It's gonna be tough. I expect him to get doubled often. I expect a huge coaching battle, and I think shooting might actually just decide the series here. To be honest,
Shooting's probably gonna get really ugly in this series if
it
you think
really
about it.
is. A lot of shots
Yeah.
from Tatum,
you- And then a lot of misses too.
a lot of misses from MPJ. Like it's gonna be a war. But if this series does happen, like I really do think Denver is gonna stay composed. Like both
Denver's
these
gonna
teams are
blow.
really good. Like I'm not saying Celtics are bad. Like I just feel like it's like a prediction. Like I have a feeling in my
Yeah, yeah.
body. Like the Nuggets are gonna pull it
It's
out.
it's a gut feeling. It's a gut feeling,
It
right?
really is a good feeling.
All right, all right. I know this episode's been a little long, but it was bound to with all these good analysis you've been treating us to.
Of
Who do
course.
you have between Milwaukee and Denver?
Whew. I know what you want me to say. I know you want
I
me to
know
say
what you're gonna.
Denver.
I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say Denver.
I'm gonna say Denver, dude. I
Yeah,
have to say
it's a
Denver.
gut
I
feeling.
have
You
to
said
say
it's a gut
Denver.
feeling,
I
right?
have to say Denver, dude. Jokic is on demon time, bro. Come on, Jokic is on demon time.
No, you're valid in that. But like I said, man, Brook Lopez, I think he can shut him down. And then you have Giannis, and then you have Drew. Like, it's such a defensive oriented team with a lot of offense as well coming from the bench and the starting lineup itself. I think Milwaukee takes another ring regardless.
I mean, on your side, I think the matchup it is interesting, but I think people forget how volatile Joel Murray can get in the playoffs. Like he turns into one of the greatest guards. He
You know
he is one of
what?
the greatest scorers.
We have not seen him play in 2 years, like playoff basketball. I think you might be right.
It's difficult. Like I think people, Drew Holiday is one of the best. He probably is the best perimeter
He is
defender
the wing.
in the
He is
league.
the best defender. Yeah.
But in the playoffs, it's a different animal. Like you're playing against guys going their absolute hardest every single possession.
Hmm.
MPJ is come back like he's fully healthy coming off a back injury. He's been playing really well. Aaron Gordon's still on the team. Has amazing chemistry with Jokic, and I think with Giannis, like the way he plays, like Jokic is a bad defender. Like he's pretty bad.
He's not a great defender. Yeah.
But Giannis has historically struggled against bigger centers that just have a lot of mass. Like it's hard to move Jokic. Like I just think Denver is so smart in the way they play. And Mike Malone has been a really good coach this year. I
Mhm.
I don't know. I think it'll be close, but I have to say Denver. I have to.
We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see if the finals matchup becomes Denver Milwaukee. We're gonna have another episode on
Oh,
like
for
on
sure, for
this
sure.
topic specifically.
Honestly, we have to.
All right. This was fun, man.
Yeah, it
It's
was.
been
Um,
great to have to get back in. How long was this episode, by the way?
Almost 2 hours.
Almost 2 hours. It's fine. It's fine. We're just trying to cut it down for the future.
Yeah. This is just the comeback of like we just need to get
Nah,
it all out.
this is us getting everything out of the system. 2 years
Course.
worth of hiatus. We're back. 2 years worth of content just spilling out. That's just us. All right.
Of
Don't
course.
worry, guys. We'll keep it shorter from now on out. But glad to have everyone back listening.
Of course.
We're signing off then.
Of course. See you boys later.
See you boys later. This has been Kings of King,
Oh, come on,
Court
you
of
can't mess up
Kings.
the title. You can't mess up the title.
This has been Court of Kings. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care.
See ya.